have pickups today, April 28th, 2025. I have quite a bit of stuff. I said I was going to stop last time, and I mean, I kind of did. I tried at least. You'll see later, but I got into a couple, what you might call phases of collecting some things. But anything outside of that, I think, is not that much. I suppose the new shelf that I got, and yeah, just the new shelf. I feel a bit better about buying stuff again, even though I shouldn't. Let's go ahead and start though. I've got debut a debut single CD and some checkies they're called. I don't know, they're little like picture cards by my friend Rin. They're an idol, and they've been doing some merch and stuff, so I've been buying from her. It's really cute, really pretty stuff. I haven't listed this yet, but I'm excited to. Let's go with our first stack. We've got, oh, I should grab the calendar too. I'm gonna grab the calendar, but we've got this acrylic stand. This is so cute. It's a Sailor Moon. And I don't know if I covered this last time. I don't think I did. I don't know if I covered this last time. I think I did. A calendar too, my calendar for this year. Sailor Moon. It's really pretty. It's by, as you can see, Juju0520 on Instagram. I bought off of her shop. She's got very nice art. And the acrylic stand's very cute. It proclamates Naoko Takeuchi's style, but she's got her own flair to it that I personally really like. A lot of Sailor Moon artists, they have their own little flares and takes on her style. Not that I don't like them. It's just I prefer certain things in hers. I really do like. Got this keychain. It was a blind box I got from some outlet store that had a lot of like interesting little knick-knack stuff. And actually, no, I got this from Box Lunch. What am I talking about? On a trip with a friend, we stopped by Box Lunch, and I got the GBA, and I was happy to get that. There were a lot of like Nintendo stuff. I got Metroid Prime Federation Force. I gotta play that soon. The prices are really high, that's why I didn't buy it in box, but I kind of wish I did. Because around this time, everyone's excited for Prime 4. But I've been playing Prime lately. Wild Arms, I got this at the local game shop. It's been staring at me for like, I think it was on sale for like 25 bucks, and I don't know, I really wanted to try it. So I just went ahead and bought it. Got Prime Hunters, again, another Prime game. This one was not as pricey. I had to scour. I think I got it off Mercari or something. I had to scour the postings because there were not a lot for whatever reason. And then there's the First Hunt demo version that a lot of people mix up with a regular one. And I don't want a demo, obviously, but that one's more common. Ape Academy finally got this. This is before I made pickup videos, but one of my previous pickups. I got this game, like off eBay or something, and it came in this case, but Midnight Club 3 dub remix, I think it's called, it was inside. But it's nice. This is actually a real case and not a repro like the one that I had. Or rather, I had the real case, but it came in there, and then the one I just bought was a repro case, so I just put the game in the right case. We got some 4K Blu-rays. This is a 3 for $33 on Groove, I think it was. 4K Blu-rays. Was it on Groove? I think it was on Amazon. Yeah, it was on Amazon. You might say, oh, you already have Blu-rays for the Monsterverse movies. Yes, I do, but I want them in 4K since I got Godzilla 2014 in 4K already, and I've been wanting this, at least in a Blu-ray. This is what I really wanted, but I had to fill it out with 2 other titles, and these were looking the best, so now I just need Godzilla vs. Kong in 4K, so I can get rid of that Blu-ray triple pack that I have. I also got Casablanca. I got this from Barnes & Noble. It was like 10 bucks or something, and I just was in there looking, so I was like, might as well, because I wanted to own it. I love that movie. Godzilla -1, finally got this. Got this from the Godzilla store. There's so many releases of this. It's such a, if you're unaware of each difference, it's such a, like, mess from the outside looking in. I saw that they're coming out with the 4K. I'm like, okay, I'll get a 4K, even though there was one before, but it was only the 4K disc. This one actually had Godzilla minus color, which I wanted, but minus color is on Blu-ray. It's like, why? And it doesn't have all the bonuses that the other releases had, which is kind of a shame, but maybe I can look it up on YouTube. It just has a watch-along commentary with the director, I think. We got Blur. I've been meaning to get this for a long time. I got this from Instagram, I think. I think I bought it along with something else. If I remember what that something else is when we get to it, I'll see. Got Super Mario Thousand Year Door. The remake came out recently, and this dropped in price drastically. I thought this was an original case. It is not. I'm actually really disappointed. But my local game store was having a Mario sale for Mario Day, so I just went ahead and got it with something else we'll go on to later. But I pretty much paid full price for 2 items. So I mean, I'll take it. It's not the hugest deal. I got this. I didn't even know I had this. We'll get to it later. But I got something related to this, and this was in the box, and I didn't know this till like a week later. I looked in the box. I was cleaning up in it, and I saw this was in there. I was like, oh, that's neat. And then I was like, well, I probably won't keep it. I'll probably just sell it at some point. But apparently it's got a copy of Super Punch-Out, which is like, I didn't know that existed. I barely see any coverage on it online when I looked it up. If I would have known, I mean, I probably could have saved some money on the eShop, right? But it's probably about $2 or $3 difference. Got Alliance Alive. I don't know what I bought this for, who I bought this from, but it was pretty cheap, and I've been meaning to have it. I don't think I have Legend of Legacy yet, but I need to get that so I can play that one first. But I've been meaning, the names alone on the Legend of Legacy and the Alliance Alive are so, like, it's just so sweet to me that I couldn't pass it up. I wanted to get to them at some point. Let's move on to some big stuff. So you don't have too much suspense on what I was getting at. Yeah, so one of the phases I was hinting at earlier was finally getting into upscaling my content and making stuff like look better on my modern TVs. Last time I had a Blackmagic Infinity Shuttle Pro or something like that, and that was a capture card that I found that my mom had, but she really never used. I couldn't get it to work because it only didn't support 480p, which most old consoles are 240 or 480p. So because I guess it was a software update that they never implemented, but they meant to. But I was so like sour about that because it's like I pretty much got a free capture card, but I couldn't use it. It was so disappointing. So anyway, I went ahead and well, we'll get to that later. I guess I spoiled that enough, but I'll show you the capture card I got later. But it just snowballed into this small little phase that I've been going through of wanting better looking output from my video game consoles than what I've been doing, and I just feel like I've been missing out for so long. I was vaguely aware of what an S cable was, for example, and obviously what component cables were, but like we had them here and there, but it never like clicked in my ear. I never realized that it was for better looking quality on the video game systems. And that's why all the old TVs, some TVs would have different inputs, different colored inputs, we always just used AV and that was it. So just learning about it was so interesting. And I don't have all the cables because some accessories I try not to show too much unless it's significant. I feel like just putting a bunch of cables here is nothing too interesting unless somebody is really interested in what I have. But anyway, along with that, I've been kind of looking into older consoles that I never had. And well, what do you have here? A Genesis. I never was into Sega's consoles growing up. I didn't even know for the longest time that they made consoles. That's how young I am. But anywho, I got this and some other things I'll show in a minute. But I got it really cheap. And the thing is, actually, I'll just show it right now while we're talking about it. The thing with this, and it does work. I was worried because it wasn't working at first, and none of the systems I bought were working at first. I got them cheap, right? I was just trusting the Facebook. I got off Facebook Marketplace. I was trusting. I had to drive like an hour, hour 15 to get them. I was trusting that the Facebook Marketplace seller I bought from was telling the truth. That's kind of part of the gamble that you take. I got this from a local game shop to try on the Genesis since I didn't have any Genesis games, but I wish I didn't sell away the receipt because I have this on a Genesis collection, but it's okay. It's whatever. I don't mind owning it. It was like $8. But I bought the Genesis. I bought this. Oh, you know what? I forgot the Nintendo Wii. I bought a Wii too, but I forgot it in my pickup, so it's going to be in the next one. I got a Super Nintendo. Finally, it feels insane to own these consoles. These are consoles I never thought I'd own. And the other Super Nintendo that's pretty busted up. He threw it in for 20 bucks. yeah, I got, and I'm spoiling for this video exclusively. It's not in my pictures that I post. I got the Sega Genesis, the Super Nintendo, the Wii, and the NES for 140, and he threw in this busted SNES for another 20. It works fine. It's just cosmetically, it doesn't look great. I might buy another shell for it because it's just too busted to keep it as is. But I was worried because I got home, I start trying them. I bought the cords that I needed, and none of them worked except the Wii. But like I expected the Wii to work, because I don't know, those things are troopers most of the time. They work. But these older consoles, with older consoles, it's like kind of like you're taking a gamble because you don't know. And I was taking a gamble with that buy, but it was a good deal on the surface, and I figured, $140. Even if they don't work, I could sell them all as not working, and I would probably get at least half of my money back. Like I could wasting like $65 is a lot, or $70 is a lot, but it's not the end of the world a lot. I could buy an SNES from a local game store, and it's tested working, and it's got all the cords for $70 alone. So for this plus like this a Wii and an NES, that's 5 consoles right there. I got a steal on them. Anyway, they didn't work the first time, so I was really worried. This one actually did work, I think, the busted one, but this one wasn't working. It was displaying like glitch stuff. We do have an NES game. It's Justice League. It's like a Justice League fighting game that we got from our neighbor when he passed at our old house. So I actually had that for years, but I never even dreamed of owning any systems before the 5th gen. I guess just because it was out of my wheelhouse. And I mean, some of them used to be really cheap, like the NES used to be really cheap, but I think growing up it's like, well, why bother? I already have, like, the Virtual Console existed back then, right? It's like I can just buy games on there, all the notable games. But just looking into it and learning more about, like gyms from back then, and playing more games, and it's amazing. I'm so grateful to have these. Yeah, we can move on. I've been yapping about it a lot. And I'm thinking about, I was going to sell the SNES if it worked, the second one, but I'm thinking about reshelling that busted one, and then keeping the other one just for backup in case one of them dies. That's what I think I'm going to do. I sold the second Wii because I had a busted Wii anyway, but we won't get into that also hobby. We got Stunt Race FX. I actually haven't even tested this. I just know it's a well-regarded game, and I saw it at a local convention that I went to, so I just went ahead and bought it for cheap. I think it was like $20. Now that I'm talking about it. I should have tested it, but I couldn't return it anyway, so what can you do? And then we got this. This is very recent. Got a... I know, it's like, really? That's a lot, man. I got this GameCube, and the reason I got this GameCube, again, I was looking into better quality coming out of my system. I got an upscaler because in order to get a digital signal out of an analog console, so old consoles are analog signals, right? A digital signal is like HDMI, stuff like that. In most capture cards only accept HDMI, right? I didn't want to buy something like the Blackmagic Infinity that I had because they're rare. Well, they're not rare, but they're expensive, and they don't really make stuff like that anymore. Most modern capture cards, and I got a cheap one. We'll see in a bit. Most modern capture cards only accept HDMI, and I got one for like $40, but it works great. So I got a RetroTink 2X Pro because I heard, like, the AV to HDMI that we see at like Walmart and like GameStop and all these stores that are like $30. They suck. That's what I heard, and I kind of knew that. I think I've tried at least one in the past, and it didn't look that great. It was always very blurry. Here's my capture card. It was cheap, like $40 or so. I just got the cheapest one, cheapest price range I could find that wasn't like bargain bin, because I know those are gonna be crap. Like mid range, I guess. And this was the only one that had like decent reviews all across the board, like 5 stars. But it works great. I might upgrade in the future, but for now and for the foreseeable future, it's good. I've started streaming, which has been fun, and if I ever want to record in the future, it's insane. I never thought I would have the opportunity or the ability to do this stuff, but here it is, in the flesh. Oh yeah. So I got the 2X Pro, and it had some caveats. It wouldn't work. It has issues with the PlayStation 1 and the Genesis. Again, I didn't have the Genesis and SNES stuff that I showed you before, but I ended up getting it. So that was a bust. My PlayStation just wouldn't work with it. I think I just got unlucky there. it wouldn't show any colors. So it was that, and then it wasn't compatible with 480p. Now most 6th gen systems are able to do 480p, and systems above that, obviously. So it was like, I'm buying these good cables for my systems, but I can't even use them because this thing doesn't support 480p. So I bit the bullet. I bought this. The RetroTink 5X. This is the next up, and it's great. This thing's amazing. It looks amazing, and it works with all my stuff pretty much. Anyway, my GameCube could not do 480p because apparently I had a newer GameCube which got rid of this, the digital out. Remember, we have to convert analog to digital. That's what the upscaler does. But the GameCube itself couldn't do it, which is, it's always better to have your console natively do it than through an upscaler because it'll look better. You know, you need good food to put into your upscaler. Basically, you want the best food that you can. Anyway, so I got this, and because it kept bugging me, because I'm like, okay, I'm fine with not having 40p on my GameCube. It just kept bugging me, and the way I rationaled it is, if I spend 70 on this, which I did, and I got that GameCube game I was talking about with Super Punch Out, so it bounced out, and I got a controller, actually. I don't know if it's down here. It was down here, but I can't find it, so we're not going to worry about it. But it's a black, and it's an OEM controller. It's a legit controller, which I've always had repros, so it's nice to have a legit to compare it to. But yeah, this is nice. It works well. I'm going to keep my old GameCube for a bit to make sure this works, you know, for a good amount of time. I don't want it to die on me because this is an older version of the GameCube that had the digital out. Apparently, Nintendo was going to do 3D on the system, and they never got around to it. And you know how systems over time, they cut costs, they cut features. It was that, and as you can see at the bottom, there's a serial port. I can't show you right now. There's a serial port like over here. There's a custom thing called a SDSP2 or something like that, and it can read the SD card if you put it in your GameCube. But the model I have didn't have that either. So it was just like these caveats that were bugging me. And the way I justified paying for this is like, well, I could sell my GameCube for 70 bucks. So I'll pretty much break even, and I'll upgrade for free, basically. So that's my plan. GameCube player. One of these forever. I looked into, because as some of you may know, GameCube player discs are incredibly expensive. Kind of garbage, I found out. The software is terrible. So I looked into alternatives, which is why I have these in here. This is the SD card. Let's just say I custom boot the GameCube player to have better software, and it looks better. Also, it's silver because it matched my old GameCube. I was disappointed because I ended up deciding to get a new GameCube after the fact, and the black one was the first one I found for a decent price. But it actually looks pretty nice. I think the black and silver, I think it looks really good. But yeah, that's the GameCube story. Happy about that. It was worth it. The 40p GameCube looks insane. If I ever start making videos and I capture footage for it, it looks incredible. It looks like I'm playing off an emulator. Same for the Game Boy Player. By the way, another reason was the Game Boy Player, the best looking mode on the custom software that I used, was not compatible. It was only compatible with component cables. We'll go through these quickly. We won't go through every single one. But Sonic Comics, I've been getting back. This is the first phase that I was talking about. Something just compelled me at the start of the year. Maybe it was Sonic Movie 3. I was riding off hype, maybe. But I really wanted to get back into. Also, the fact that I've played games. So I don't know if this was before my pickups, before I start chronicling my pickups or what. But I already own like maybe a third to a half of the first like 100 or so Sonic comics. But I've been getting back into it. The prices they're fluctuating, but they're a little bit better. Actually, they're probably a little bit worse than what it was, but it's not too terrible. I won't go into everything, but I've sold off all my old comics that I already had, and then I bought all these, and I actually about broke even, so I'm actually kind of happy about that. And I have way more. Yeah, I won't go into everything. I'll just go through the sub series, I guess. I got these in a big, the Sonic Saga. I got these in a big, like combined order that I got. Those are really for later. These are later comics. I finally went and finished the Sonic Archives. These were what I was collecting before, but I think one of them that I was buying was like, they're not the most plentiful in terms of stock, some of them, and a few of them are just crazy expensive for me at the time, and a few of them are now, like some of the last ones, like these ones are like $100 each, something like that. But I bought like a big order for like 500 bucks. That was like well worth the price. Again, I evened out, so don't worry too much about the money. I even out with the old comics that I bought. That price from way back when. I made, I don't think I made a profit, but I pretty much spent like $20 for everything, pretty much, just because I think the prices went up for a lot of the comics. Yeah, we got the Sonic Selects. I had like 3 of these. But yeah, I bought them. I told you we're going quick. We're going quick for not long again. And then actually let's shift focus. I don't want to spend all my time on Sonic because that's what the most I have here. That's why I'm doing pickups so early, even though I said I was done, because I got into the Sonic phase, Sonic Comics phase, and then I got into the optimizing video game and capturing footage phase. So those were like why I had to do a pickups, because the actual individual stuff I don't have too much of, but I just had so much of the other stuff. I got this stuff recently. We got Hobbit. We got these from Thrift Books. I just been wanting to try these books. I started reading one of these. It was actually really good, but this is the first one, so I got that. I got this the other day when I went out of town. I'm just tired of hearing the title, and it's like such a tease. Like, what is it even about? You know, I just was curious, and it was $3, so if I don't like it, I'll sell it. Some more Dragon Ball. I got these off. Actually, don't know. I guess it's Barnes & Noble. Yeah, I think I did get them from Barnes & Noble when I got Casablanca. I just used my old gift card that I had sitting around with. I guess this is all they had because it skipped. Anywho. Continuing those. Continuing Ghibli. Finally got some more of these. When I was buying better cords for my system, I was so... This is not a good thing, but I was so eager to get stuff that I would order stuff after work, so it would get there like same day shipping, like later that day. But I needed a certain amount to qualify, so I just filled these out with Ghibli movies that were on sale. But it's good to have these anyway. I'm closing in on the end. I think I only need like 3 or 4 more till we get all at least the ones that were released in the US on Steelbook. And then we'll probably have to get the rest on Blu-ray. It's going to be icky and it's not going to be uniform, but I don't know when or if the G-Kids will ever get the rights to release them like these. But this is nice. And then I got Mothra. I think I got this with some games that I got off Instagram. I wasn't sure if I wanted to own the companion movies with the Godzilla series, but I mean, I do really like Mothra. So I might at least get Mothra and Rodan. I'm not too concerned with the other monsters because they're not super important, you know, but then again, I do like enjoying everything. Like Frankenstein versus Baragon. Is that the Japanese name? Frankenstein Conquers the World, I think is the Western name. Like, that's a good movie. You know, I wouldn't mind rewatching that when I revisit. Anyhow, we got some more stuff. Got some keychain, acrylic, or no, keychains, yeah. Love Life keychains. I got some stuff for some friends, and I ended up just getting these for myself, I think. I might give them to friends. I can't remember my order. I just saw these, and they look great, so I ended up keeping them. Got a Raleigh. I got this at the local convention, too. The Cute Got figures, I think I talked about them before. I like them. They're fine. They're kind of like Funko Pop anime figures. But I think I'm starting to tire of them because I have like 4 of them, and I don't know. I mean, like I'm imagining a Akira Toriyama accurate Arale figure that's like a little bit smaller than this, and she's just doing her running pose towards us for like $40. I would absolutely pay for that. You know, I got this for like 20, if that. I think it was 15. But she's cute. She matches the Bulma, but it's like I'm starting to sour on them because they're overpopulated. I think it was okay when it was 1 or 2. I got this too. I'm kind of regretting it because it's so big. I hope this is actually really decent. I've been into war stuff, getting back into war films lately. But I got this from Half Price Books. That's actually where I got the Rent a Girlfriend. I didn't mention. That was my first time going to Half Price Books when I was out of town. It was actually insanely nice. I wish we had one here. We got some comics. This just started, DCX Sonic. I was kind of upset because I put it on order with my comic book shop, but they just didn't get it. But they had like 10 copies of this, so I was able to get one. But I'm just worried because with comics, it's so weird because it's pre-order or bust, pretty much, from what I understand. Like, after the pre-order season leaves, you can't order a comic. That's what I believe it's like. I also got this while I was there because it's like cool. There's a lot of Godzilla crossovers that I need to get into and actually read. And then I got this from the con too. If you guys know, you probably don't know. Scrambled was for some of the first Sonic comics that I own. I own Scrambled 2, I think, and then like issue 235 with Silver. I've been slowly grabbing these like Infinity Stones. I think I need one more part until I have the full. And then this is just more comic stuff that I got at Sonic Comics. I got Knuckles. I almost have all of these, I think, or I do. And then I got a bunch of specials. It was a whole what do you call it, like adventure, figuring out where can I buy reprints, where do I need to buy the original copies. And this is as far as I am, 96, minus some holes here and there that I need to buy. But oh, and then I got the Amy special. This was in one of the group orders, but anyway, that's about it for the comics, I think. I actually fell off because, and it was good too, because I was spending too much too quick. Issue 95 is the SA2 adaptation, and obviously Sonic Movie 3 is out, so it was like 200 bucks a copy, and I said no way. So I'm just waiting for it to chill, and I'll get back on the grind. And I do really want to start reading them soon, but I think I want to watch Sad AM first, at least. Maybe not the whole thing, but at least touch upon it and remember. I got this when I was out of town with my friend. Where did I get this? Miniso. Kirby car. I've always wanted a Kirby Plus. I'm gonna put this in my car, I think. And I really like Kirby car. It's probably the best thing in Forgotten Land for me. I got these local game store when I got Thousand Year Door. I mean, I needed to get them eventually, and they had them, and I got them on sale. Like I said, I pretty much paid like full price, like 60 bucks for Thousand Year Door in a repro case, and these, which go for like 20. So I mean, I'll take it. It was a deal, and they work. They don't look the best. They're kind of roughed up, but they work. Whenever I get to Donkey Konga and Jungle Beat and all that stuff. I wonder if you can play Barrel Blast on the Wii with those. That would be cool. I know it was originally intended. And like I said, we're going quick. I don't know what the timer is, but this is the last thing we got. I got this when I was out of town with my friend. Goku and Bulma figure. I got this from Box Lunch. It looked way too good to pass up. Like, way too good. And I'll open it now. Why not? Because it's kind of unreal. I have like 3 Dragon Ball figures now. I didn't even realize it. I've been seeing a thank you goodbye. I think it's... Did Dragon Ball end at 36 or 38? But it was the last volume cover. Goku with the wings. But he's got his orange gi on. I wish it was the blue gi. But I've been thinking about getting that one as my adult Goku figure. But if not, it's fine. I don't like desperately need one. But in the future, I think I would at least want to own adult Goku. But if not, you know, it's okay. Again, I don't need more figures. But because I got a new shelf, which I won't show here, but I did get a new shelf. I have more figure space, but not much. And I also like rearranged my room, so I've got a bit on my dresser now. Again, I need to slow it, but this was too good to pass up. Like it was speaking to me when I saw it. I just knew I needed to have it. You guys ever had stuff like that? It's like I need this, you know. And it's like it's not even something that I won't even talk myself out of buying. It just like I don't know. It fits you so well. You know that you want it in your collection. Because some of the stuff I buy, it's like. And as always, I'm so grateful to even have the money to buy this stuff. I'm so grateful to own this stuff. It's such a blessing. I think I can even have a place to keep it and have the money to buy it. Dude, this looks insane nice. This was about, oof, man, like 40, 50 bucks. I know that's a lot. But I had some box lunch cash. I got that Game Boy keychain too, which was like 15 bucks. So that ended up being like free. I only spent like 50 in all for both. This looks insane. Look at that. That looks insanely nice. That's amazing. Ah, look at Goku. And Bulma, that's amazing. There's such a... I was trying to tell my friend, but she was... I don't know, on your own little world. But there's such a mystique and... We'll end on this. There's such a mystique and majesty and beauty at the beginning of Dragon Ball. The genesis of these two friends, these two heroes with these two friends, you know. This is well detailed too. You can see like above the wheel there. There's the little sketch marks, and it's like it looks like it's dirty from the dirt. But just that initial meeting is so precious, and because it started it all, and just the very aptly named mystical adventure that is Dragon Ball. I love it. I love it. And this is just perfect. That's so nice. I can't wait to put that up. Anyway, thanks for watching. I think we got to it pretty quick. I'm proud of myself. If you did watch, thank you so much. I love talking about this stuff. I'm glad someone wants to listen. But yeah, have a good morning, a good night, and goodbye.